A little bit of a different video today. Let's get just straight into it. Now, I wanted to do a little bit of a different video because I was reading an article written by Michael Gleason on The Age regarding Barry Carp. He interviewed Barry Carp, who, as we know, is our president, pretty much president-elect, taking over from Jeff Brown at the AGM. As you're probably well aware, if you're Collingwood members, the AGM is happening right now, or not the AGM, but you can vote for the upcoming board stuff. My goal was to talk to pretty much everyone that's nominated, but after talking to a couple of people that are nominated, I can't put any of the stuff up because it will be seen as campaigning, and under the constitution of the Pies or whatever it may be, they can't campaign. So that's that. So I can't do that like I did last time, which kind of sucks because that would have been nice to sort of get everyone's view before you vote for them. But it is what it is. But I did want to talk about this article from The Age about what Barry Carp, how he sort of is going to be the new sort of president, and what he's going to bring to the table. So without further ado, we'll go over it. We'll go over this article, and I found some interesting tidbits that I do want to sort of expand on. So let's do it. This thing here is that he wants to, well, that's him. That's old mate Barry Carp. So Barry Carp was a part of Jeff Brown's posse with Jeff Brown, Renee Roberts, and Barry Carp. So those were the three that were coming in a few years ago. And Barry Carp and Renee Roberts are up for re-election again. Obviously, Barry Carp's going to be the next president. So he's saying here that he wants the Pies to be number one again, and we're pretty close to being. Well, we've got the most members, right? And we saw. I put up an article the other day. We had 40 million people come through for Collingwood games or something ridiculous like that, and just broke every AFL record. One thing I do want to talk about is this, straight off the bat. So we are in the best sporting precinct in the world. We're in such an enviable position in terms of where we live and train and work. So an opportunity to shore that up, to expand that, we'd obviously have to have a look at. And yeah, taking over Melbourne space at AAMI Park would be a part of that. So that is huge, just straight off the bat. Now, where we are at the AIA Centre, we've put in millions and millions of dollars, and you know the government has helped us as well develop this into a world-class training facility. And if you see all the photos, it is absolutely world-class. There are certain things that can be better around the ground itself. Put some shades up, for God's sake. We've made $15 million in profit, or whatever it may be. Put some shade up for the people at training who come and who come and watch all the time. Open up the Glasshouse Cafe so we can sort of go in. I can't remember if he mentions any of that, but we'll have more of a read. Do some things, just quality of life stuff, to look after the fans as well, right? But that's probably another whole video. But that does frustrate me quite a bit. But the idea of taking over AAMI Park as well when Melbourne move out, whenever they sort of move out, is huge, because AAMI Park at the moment plays host to Melbourne's training stuff, Melbourne Storm, Melbourne City, and Melbourne Victory. So that's four. I think it's more Victory as opposed to City. Sorry, but that is four or three or four teams in there. Huge teams, huge Melbourne teams. And once Melbourne move out, if they move out, the idea of taking over that and having the AIA Centre and AAMI Park is absolutely huge. What I like about that is, can you imagine during like grand final week, right, or prelim week, or finals week in general, where instead of just people sitting around the AIA Centre, that ground there, Olympic Oval, we can go into AAMI Park. I know it's not an oval ground, but you go into AAMI Park, you watch the boys train, you're on seats, there's food open and stuff. I think that's a really, really cool and interesting idea, and something that I didn't even think would be possible. But now that Barry Carp is sort of putting that out there, it does seem like there is a possibility, and there have been talks to kind of not relocate, but take that over. So that's a watch this space. That's very interesting. The other thing, so he goes on to say, the other thing is that we've got an amazing opportunity with our spiritual home at Victoria Park. There's a lot of work that can be done there to improve those facilities, and hopefully that's an opportunity for us to make sure that we keep improving these facilities, to have them in the absolute best shape and condition for the AFLW. There's a lot more we can do with Vic Park. This has been the biggest stickler for me over all of the years. I know Vic Park is pretty much owned by Yarra City Council, and they won't really let us touch the ground or anything like that. But I love going to Vic Park, right? And you hear me talk about it all the time, especially, obviously to watch the girls and stuff. But like, the toilets there are portaloos. We're the richest club in the land, one of the most profitable clubs in the land, the most profitable club in the land. Our spiritual home ground where the girls play, the facilities are fucking shocking. Absolutely shocking. Portaloos everywhere. It could be done so much better. And I'm glad that Barry Carp is saying this as one of the things that he's going to look at changing. I can't remember Jeff Brown really saying a lot of that. I know there has been a little bit of changes in the last 3 years with Vic Park, but I like that this is at the forefront of Barry Carp's mind, because we need to invest in these girls, man. You're investing in girls, you're investing in the footy. And Vic Park, I know the boys won't play there, but I'd love to see the VFL boys play there too. Instead of playing at the fucking Holden Centre, AIA Centre, I'd love to see them play at Vic Park. Could you just imagine that? That'd be absolutely incredible. If that means getting rid of the dog track that's pretty much there, and redoing that whole sort of ground. Maybe we can work with the Yarra City Council. Maybe there's an opportunity, I don't know, to buy it back off them. It's all of these things that start moving around in your head, those cogs that are moving, that it sounds like Barry Carp and possibly the board are pretty much wanting. So then we just sort of move down. He's saying here, we're all different. We've got to be true to our authentic self. I'm not going to be a Jeff Brown, like a replacement. He's a Jeff Brown person. He's not going to be a clone of Jeff Brown. He's got his own thoughts and his own positions on things. And he says here, but I stood with Jeff and Renee in 2021. Under Jeff's leadership, we achieved everything pretty much that we asked our members for our support back then. Bring the club back to its right position as number one off the field and on the field. And that's exactly what they did. And you probably know that I was really opposed to Jeff Brown, the way he went about it and stuff like that. But recently, obviously, I've come around after seeing his vision and after seeing everything that he's done. 112,000 members or thereabouts. The flag is absolutely phenomenal. He's saying here, I'm not in any way putting that winning the premiership was down to the board. We have the best coach in the AFL, which we absolutely do. And the board needs to be unified, which it sounds like it is. There was obviously, Graham Wright and Craig Kelly and all that sort of jazz. And he talks a little bit about that down the bottom. First and foremost, sustained success on the field. And he goes on to say, we've participated in 45 grand finals in 132 years. So we're up there. We just got to start winning them. And what better year to start winning them than 2025, new president, new flag. And, wants to keep Collingwood as a destination club. The Age, or Michael Gleeson, goes on to say, Collingwood are in a strong financial health with $100 million in assets and liquid assets of $50 million. So there's a lot of money and there's a lot of improvement to go. And I will make another video about the membership box. I know I've had some messages about it. I've talked to a couple of friends about it. Once that comes through, that's going to be an interesting video. And now we're talking about Graham Wright's season-long sabbatical and the search for his replacement. So Carp goes on to say, you prefer to go through a really comprehensive process to get that right person and a person that's going to make our club continue to be great and have sustained success, rather than just satisfy the desire to hire someone quickly. And, they talk about Brown and the board. They tried to persuade Wright. I think Wright just wanted to be, from what I'm hearing and the people I'm talking to, not that I'm in the know, but, they're saying that Wright wanted to be the CEO, Craig Kelly, and it was just too much, right? It was a me or him sort of mentality, and Kelly sort of stays. Not sort of stays, he does say. He goes on to talk about how we just missed out on finals, and talks about our list. So I've read the commentary around our list. I look at the business and the world generally and think, how good is it for the development of young players to sit at the feet of champions? I like that. How good is it for development of young players to sit at the feet of champions? That sounds like something from like Gladiator. So look at it positively, and I say that this is going to fast track the development of our younger players. So I liked everything that Barry said there. There is another article in the Herald Sun. Let's try and get that one up. So now this one is from Glenn McFarland. I've had the pleasure of meeting Glenn a couple of times, and a big Collingwood supporter Glenn is. So that's Barry Carp and the other nominee, Gay Morris. So we'll scroll down. So they talk about record levels of memberships, but they want to grow. They want to enhance that and become even bigger, which is absolutely incredible to think that we can come even bigger than what we are at the moment. So now he's kind of talking about the nominees. So the two nominees went through a really thorough process and came out with two great candidates with his Gay and Dan. That's who the some of the board have backed. But remember that there are more people that you can vote for. There's John, there's Casey as well. So yeah, I implore you to just do your research before you sort of vote, instead of just sort of voting blindly, because they're all really good nominees. So Dan, we're not really gonna talk about because that it sounds like promotion and stuff. So I'm not gonna get out of that. But this is what's Barry Carp. This is his 4 big points. The club's core business was chasing premierships, insisting the Magpies had no intention of bottoming out. So expect us to keep topping up, and not do what like sort of Richmond done. The Do Better report has no finishing line, as he said. Respect, integrity, and cultural safety has to be the forefront of everything that the club does, which I absolutely love. You know, I'm a big fan of that, of what we've done there. Talks about Craig Kelly and how he has the board's full support, and improving the improving the membership experience and further boosting facilities at the AAA Centre and Vic Park, which is exactly what we need, because like I just said, the AAA Centre is shithouse for people who want to observe training and stuff like that. Like if you don't have sunscreen on, and which everyone should, you just absolutely burn. Sustained success, winning more men's and our maiden women's premiership, creating the best elite talent programs for players, coaches, staff, and past players. I think that's an incredible idea as well. Continuing to maintain and develop our elite high performance facilities and enhancing the members' experience. He goes on to say, what type of president would he be? You can only be yourself. You have to be authentic. And I like that we're changing presidents every few years. I know what Eddie did was incredible. 20 plus years was probably a little bit too long. I like that Jeff stayed for 1 term, and I assume Barry Carp probably stays for 1 term, because the more different voices you have, the better it is. What other president in countries besides dictators have stayed on for like 25 years? So I kind of like that it's moving around. Goes on to talk about his journey to finding Collingwood, and that elusive 17th premiership that we definitely need. Talks about Graham Wright. He's going to be a CEO of Carlton, and we wish him absolutely all the best. The club values of do better. So this is a good article if you want to get to know Barry Carp, and membership and facilities. So we have done some significant work at the AIA Centre, but there is more to come, and putting Vic Park back on the map as a big place that draws crowds, and the girls sort of go there and stuff like that. And this is just the Collingwood election coming up. So that's who I was talking about. John and Casey. I had the pleasure of meeting Casey. She's from Craigieburn as well, so we connected through that. And then Barry Carp, Renee Roberts, they're seeking re-election. Gay and Dan. Dan's from Sydney though, so I think he'll stay in Sydney. So that's a little bit how's it going for me. But Gay and Dan, and I'm pretty sure they're all friends or something. I don't know. But anyway, that's who the board has nominated. That's who they want. But yeah, I'd implore you to do some research on the independent candidates as well, because they're very good candidates. But I just wanted to talk about the Barry Carp articles, because you have to get to know our new president, because he will be our new president. And I love that Vic Park is at the forefront. AIA Centre, fixing that up, is at the forefront. But the one that I was very interested in was AAMI Park, which is tantalising. I've never heard of that before. So when Melbourne leave, I don't know when they're going to leave. If we could get AAMI Park as well as AIA, we're a fucking juggernaut. We're a juggernaut. We're world class. We're a juggernaut. And we're just going to keep getting better. And we're going to become a destination club again. We pretty much are. Getting down Houston was huge. Perryman. We're going to be a destination club again. I'd keep an eye out for the free agents. LDU should come to the Pies, but that's all I'm saying. But let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Barry Carp is going to be a good president? Do you like what he was saying? Let me know all your thoughts down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.